Welcome everybody, friends, folks, foes, and fellow pirate mateys, to our latest weekly edition of World Pirate Radio News. It's show segment number 302. I'm your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder. WPRPN.com is the website we will direct your attention to. Sign up is free. If you do happen to run into any problems along the way, keep in mind you can easily reach out and contact us via our main email address, pirate1radio@protonmail.com. That's pirate the numeral 1 radio@protonmail.com. We'll do whatever it takes to help straighten things out and send you on your way. It's also the email you want to take note of if you'd like to help us out on the donation end of things, that front, through PayPal, or you have any show suggestions or guest ideas in mind you'd like to bounce off of us. So half of all what we do manage to generate as well via the public, and yes, this is a public supported enterprise. Without your help, we will not continue to be here for much longer. That's simply just the way things go. But half of everything we do manage to generate does go directly back to charity. Hashtag WWRHD. What would Robin Hood do? You've also got merchandise up for grabs. There's the Patreon angle, which is great. And, so on and so forth. So do take a gander, a look at the show description end of things for all of our various social media links. And after we archive the show, all of our guest speakers' main social media links. We have this week a pretty decent turnout as well, too. So we're definitely looking forward to this. Liking, commenting, sharing, remembering to hit the subscription, notification buttons. Very helpful indeed. Uh, once again, you'd like to lend a little free, uh, largely painless support to our efforts here, and passing word along to friends, family, and coworkers. It's powerful stuff. Don't ever underestimate that, folks. So, all right, turning our sights now over to the folks that we do have on board with us at present. Not this character on the right, although we will be alluding to him and his attempted military coup, which was launched back in early December. Really shook the peninsula in a big way. Things here continue to remain tense and on edge. He's currently actually being targeted with arrest warrants. And in the midst of it all, his supporters are blocking, impeding, which I think that would be illegal, would it not? Trump, the American front, Trump faced the music when it came to answering any legal challenges that he happened to be facing. This guy, on the other hand, is a real rascal. And a loose cannon, clearly dangerous individual, as are his supporters, which he has, polluted their minds with the most absurd, ridiculous theories that even mainstream media agrees is too much, as far as the veracity of and legitimacy of the election that was held here back in April. His people wanting to run with the idea that, as was the case back in the States, don't, stop the steal. It's wild, man. While they're waving American flags. So, which has really led some here to believe that there could be more of a hidden American U.S. Washington base. And I guess in this instance, situation, Biden, White House, hidden hand than what most have any idea. So, bye American pie. Yeah, just all smiles and nothing but good vibes as they were yucking it up there not so long ago via the White House. But it takes a lot more than that to rule with any sort of govern with any sort of legitimacy. And he's clearly lost it. So, but enough of that for now. We'll kind of shift gears, put the brakes on the whole Korean angle to what's happening here this week. And welcome to the Open House Roundtable, Sonia Galactic out of Phoenix, Arizona, Mark Edworthy. You can wave too. You're on camera, right, Mark? Wave or do whatever. Try not to flip us the bird or anything that extreme. So you can come on mic too if you want. When I just bring your name up. So yeah. UK, Johnny Webb as well too, out of Britain. You're on your bottom right hand part of your screen. Christian Latour, courtesy of Alberta, Canada, at present. So great to have Christian dropping back in. Steve on the other far right-hand side of things, and lower part of your screen, courtesy of, I think, is it Edmonton or Calgary, Steve?
I believe your brother lives. Where does your brother live?
Calgary.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I got. I guess I could. I'll put you in the friend.
You're thinking Hiroki.
I'll put you. Oh no. I'll put you in the friend category. So 2 friends in Calgary, 3 friends in Calgary actually, and 1 brother. So, and Naroki's up in Edmonton, as Memory serves. So, and we're just within the vacuum. WTV. All right, out of is it Costa Rica? Is that right? Costa Rica. You're go ahead, Isaac. We can't hear you, man. Go ahead. Oh Jesus,
Costa
what's
Rica here.
oh yeah. One more time. One more time. Eat the mic. Eat the mic. Boost your volume, if you would, please.
Yes, sir. Costa Rica here.
That's right. What a great country, hey? I mean, you guys are spoiled there. You've got apparently such a a great standard of living. The weather is beautiful, and I mean, how's
Yeah,
life?
you get,
How's life in Costa Rica?
well, you get used to it. It's not a good thing, you know? You get spoiled, as you said.
Right.
But yeah, I love this place. And now it's the dry season and everything is green and beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Very blessed.
And thank you to Sonia for helping to bring Isaac to the show. We just connected. I think was it last week during the New Year's special, that particular event, which we've yet to get uploaded. We're 5 shows after tonight. We'll be 5 shows behind as far as archives are concerned, folks. So just bear with us. Give us a little time. We've had a lot of things on the go here: medical issues, passport issues, people passing away issues. Life presents any number of challenges, and sometimes things really build up. So, but we're doing okay, all things considered. Although it does kind of make my head hurt sometimes. So, all right. Well, we'll get into the whole Korea bag of worms, as it were, and focus. I mean, we could do that now, or just anything else that really and kind of just break it down for us in the simplest terms. Anyone who'd like to, if there's other stories just you'd like to throw out there that we can add to the list. What do you all reckon? What's top of your mind, or what's foremost in your minds at present?
Well,
That maybe.
Jeffrey, Johnny in London, I'm
Sure.
listening to you earlier talking about your prime minister literally, putting you in martial law and shutting the country down.
President.
President, excuse me. But then you've got this plane crash that could possibly be just to deter you away from what previously happened. But what caused the initial reason for your president to do this to the country? If you can let us know.
He was just frustrated by parliamentary gridlock. Really, he wasn't able. He's a blame duck president. Nobody really likes him. He's got very limited popular support, and except very real cult-like. Like if look at in a sense, I suppose, of the extreme MAGA type in America, only Korean version. If you can picture that.
It's never one person. It's a team of people. It's the whole administration in the sense of collated thoughts and minds. I mean, what's the breakdown in the society of that internally in your government? I mean, what's gone on?
Well, cults, you hopefully realize, are a major part of what holds Korea together. And cults, as in the broader sense, culture, not always the most positive things to have around, frankly, the way that they do hijack people's consciousness, unfortunately, not encouraging free thought or independent thought or autonomous thought, but rather in this context of things with the martial law, and now because they've got to come up with some way of justifying the failed attempted military coup. They're saying that the election back in April was a fraud. It was rigged, and that's one of the things. And secondly, another big claim that's being made by the YOON Gukmin Tang, I think they're called Gukmin People's Power Party. that anyone who doesn't agree with them is a North Korean sympathizer and communist. So you can see with that sort of thinking, and they really do have, it would seem like maybe 10, maybe not even 20% of the country, if that, his popularity was down to 11 at one time, from what I understand, what I heard and do understand. But I just had it presented to me yesterday by a Korean fellow. I stopped off and met with some local university media people. I've been over there before, and we're going to see if we can better get the ball rolling on the Korean front as far as independent underground, digital media goes, because with martial law, if it were to come into effect, there's a good chance that we wouldn't even be here right now. Jaffe would be gone. Very hard to reach, more than likely, So that's one reason I decided to check back in with those folks and see what we could do in a more positive sense, and working to bring about better solutions as far as the free flow of information and whatnot is concerned. But I suppose more to the point, what I was going to add to that was his remarks, the young man I met with yesterday, talking about, oh bloody hell, what was it now? With the president being, there was something. It'll come to me a little later, I suppose. But it's a real kind of, things are kind of unstable. Look, the currency is completely tanked, and lost a lot of value, and that's just not a good thing. Oh, I know. Here's here's what he told me. Oh God, Seoul real estate. The money people up in Seoul that have, for who knows how many years, invested in that, in the greater metropolitan region. Those are a lot of his supporters, the big money people and insiders. So, and you realize that the chaebols, as they're known here, chaebol, the corporate conglomerate chaebol, is very fascistic, folks. That's what fascism is, where the corporate world marries with the realm of politics. It's as simple as that. Let's not complicate things any further. So that's what fascism is. And with him here, in this case, with a Mickey Mouse smile, it's kind of, or with a big panda, Mickey Panda smile. But that's who's pushing back, and those are a lot of his supporters, the core, the base, old people, as you can imagine, like super conservatives, crazy conservatives, with the monetary investments, some young people, but not too many really, So does that help to provide any further insight or answers?
It sounds like, what you just described, it could be North Korea.
No, it is. It's, look, man, it is North Korea light, okay? It's North Korea light. It is.
You could also say some of that about the UK at the moment.
Sure. Yeah. It's another form of dictatorship light. That's why the people need to push back. That's why the people need to rise up. I mean, even if with Lee Myung, this is the opposition leader, with him managing to get to the General Assembly as he did with his Minju-tang Congress people, and they were being blocked, let's not forget, by the special forces that Yoon had dispatched, along with his 4 friends, these cronies that he's been really tight with since high school. They've all been part of the same little core group of glory seekers, wanting to go down in history as these, amazingly super famous and memorable people, that all for the wrong reasons, unfortunately. But so they've been plotting this, frankly, for the better part of 50 years. And now it's just that it's the iron fist inside the velvet glove, as it's often referred to, right? So now it's the ugly face of it all. The beast is being revealed. So that's what we're looking at. But hopefully things remain peaceful. They're apparently now the police who are trying to arrest Yoon are reworking the strategy. The warrant itself, I think, has already expired, so there may have to be a new one issued. He tried to block the appointment of three high profile judges to, I'm not sure if it was the
Sorry,
Supreme
what is
Court or
he
what, but
being arrested for? What are the charges?
insurrection and abuse of power, like overreach.
Okay.
And you can, and like Johnny said, he asked, like, what was it caused by, what triggered it all? Frankly, he was just frustrated. He couldn't get his agenda through. He was a lame duck, very unpopular president, who won by just a razor's hair or razor's edge margin back in April. And his popularity is, like I said, it's completely tanked, as you can imagine.
Look, Jeff, I've listened to your shows many times, yeah, and you've discussed many a topic on all sorts of ranges. But where we're close to home, you actually worry me because it sounds like you're feeling frightened to speak the truth. And
No, I don't really hold back. I try to choose my words carefully and be
Sure.
balanced and fair,
But I do feel undertones of you not feeling you
Well,
can really say what you
I
want
hope
to say.
I hope that you're concerned for us.
For sure.
Well, that's all. I hope you realize the severity. The people do realize the severity, because we could have easily found ourselves sliding and into
Marched into the back of a van and not seen again.
Well, yeah, you just never know, right? So you just never know. It was some pretty harsh conditions he was trying to implement, including seizing all media, shutting down all media, and at least taking control of it all, and shutting down anything that was not in his mind.
Just totalitarianism, yeah.
Totally. I mean, here's the thing. You might not have heard this before, but maybe listeners that are new to the show as well. So the story goes, check this out. You want some real bombshells, excuse the pun. This bastard was actually trying to trigger a phony war, what he thought would be a phony war with North Korea. From the sounds of things, they rebuffed him. But the reason that he was trying to do it through back channels in a covert, underhanded, kind of secretive way, not that there's any conspiracy to be found here, of course, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's so with bringing it about so that martial law could be implemented. He could get his way and have martial law put in place. Anything for martial law really is what this guy's all about. Anything, the flimsiest of pretexts, But South Korea, this is just. I've been here for over 20 years, and it's finally, being made rather clear that history does repeat itself. History rhymes, and South Korea has, unfortunately, a pretty lousy track record when it comes to implementing martial law. I think I heard it claimed it's been like 15 or 16 times now that these bastards have tried to pull this off. Not just in this current administration, but from the time of the Korean War, that martial law has been issued, as it were. So yeah, and you just never know. It's just, for the grace of God, or the fact that people were in communication with one another when Yoon went on the airwaves and declared his intentions. It caught a lot of people off guard, as you could imagine. Many listening thought he was joking, or it had to be some kind of joke. It's like, what kind of nonsense is this, sort of thing, right? So it's completely out of the blue, caught almost everybody by surprise. And now here's another thing. Oh, I never finished the story. Check this out. So apparently, for martial law to be implemented and brought about, the Korean government, or I guess president, is required to have America's permission. They need to get the green light from Washington, is what I've heard. Now, with that being said, so the story goes, is that Yoon was never in contact with Biden. That it was all just a big, it caught them. They were blindsided by it as well. So we're led to believe. But hey, I tell you, great rendition of American Pie there. Just a month or two prior to this decision being, on his part. And he also did supposedly play golf with Trump. And that was like a big deal for him. He really wanted to play golf with Trump. That was a big, one of his life ambition. Check that off the bucket list, I guess, right? Golf with Trump. Yeah. Okay. Now to cap it all off, and then I'll turn it back to the rest of you here and our peanut gallery folks. Something you may not be aware of. I think Sonia is, because she's been hanging around a little bit here, picking up a thing or two where she can. Good stuff. Well done. Hashtag fact check. Oh, speaking of which, hey, hashtag Telegram. Right, Sonia? Sonia's our co-producer. Sometimes we catch her a little asleep at the wheel. Well, speak of the devil. Look who we've got there. Talking before Congress. So, yeah. Okay. So, but he was planning supposedly to stage psyop politics, and psyops. Just imagine that. It's like, wow, what a concept. Or false flags. Wow, imagine that. What a concept. So to kidnap the opposition leader under the guy and have South Korean soldiers dressed up as North Koreans, have them go in, kidnap the opposition leader. He'd already been targeted. Attempted assassination had already taken place just a couple months ago on this guy. He was knifed. He was knifed down in, I think it was Busan. I haven't looked too much into the details, but there may a picture of him may pop up in the slideshow. He looked pretty rough shape, but in rough shape, being carried out on a stretcher. Lee Jae-myung is his name. So, but stage this event, have these South Korean soldiers dress up as Norks, as they're affectionately known here in the South, North Korean military, hold him hostage. Then Yoon, being the hero that everyone knows him to be, would dispatch special forces to free and liberate the opposition leader, his political enemy, and in the process have him accidentally shot and killed. Whoops. We tried to free and liberate him from these fake North Korean soldiers we sent in, but we're not going to tell you that part of the story, of course, are we? But he died, and now we have to bring in martial law. But we tried to help everybody and save him. But because people are so pissed off and suspicious of what took place, that we've got, take these extreme steps to kind of set, put a lid on things and try to calm society, the situation down, And then there was even more than that. What the hell was there? There was some, oh, bloody hell. There was another just mind-boggling story that was making the rounds. I'll get back to it here. I'm sure it'll come to mind.
Possibly the price of kimchi going up.
Yeah, that would be a real that would definitely shake the nation.
On the old stable diet there.
Yeah, that bring or rice supply, bring the nation to its knees. So the attempted assassination, and there's just all sorts of skullduggery, as you can imagine, underhanded business that not just here in this country, but any time you're part of the world of politics, you better watch your back.
You mentioned Trump a little bit earlier, Jeffrey, but today on the news there are Trump's Jr. He's visiting Greenland, And then we're hearing there's possibly going to be something happening in the next couple of weeks, months with Greenland. With Trump, with Korea, South Korea particularly, has he made any stances on what he'd like to see going on in the region? Because he's making a lot of statements now before he becomes the president, and he's from the statement that he made this afternoon regarding hostages. Wherever they are, you've got to release them, otherwise you're going to have hell. I'm wondering if he's going to be taking stances like that on other countries, including Korea, North Korea and South. Now, before North Korea, he interfered, didn't he? And he may change. But will he have to come back? And in this case, with you having a coup d'etat almost, not coup d'etat, but, martial law.
Military coup. It was attempted military coup.
Will there be some sort of repercussion that America will concern herself in the region,
Well, who wants instability? Anybody? I mean, I certainly don't. Maybe there's some people out there that do, the powers that be. Would they somehow benefit or profit from an unstable Korean peninsula? It really is the linchpin of the entire region. If you think about it, the way it always has been, the proverbial linchpin. You pull that out, and everything kind of, things go to hell quite quickly. So Trump himself, though, I mean, if he's all about freeing the hostages, maybe he should look into the Hannibal Directive. That's one of the questions I guess I would ask him is, Mr. President, have you heard of the Hannibal Directive? In reference to Netanyahu, of course, another just awful person. Oliver Stone recently on the Patrick Bet David podcast referred to him as almost one of the most dangerous men alive, as far as global security and stability is concerned, clearly, Netanyahu. So, yeah. And the relations here on this front, Blinken just recently made a visit. That made pretty big news. So, who knows what sort of talks took place exactly? You just, I don't know what, because there's always what they announce and officially makes the news, and then there's the truth, right? There's always like two versions of, so. Go ahead. I mean, who else? We got Steve and Christian, Isaac, Sonia. Feel free, Mark. I'm going to step away for a moment too, by the way. So just go at it, folks.
Always nice to see you, Jeffrey.
Sorry, I missed that.
I guess that means I can turn my mic.
Hi, Sonia. Yeah, how's it going?
Good. Nice to meet
Was
you.
it yourself that done the what do they call it? The tarot cards and stuff. Was it you or was it another guest?
It was me.
Okay. Well, if you want to do another one on a Saji, let me know.
Absolutely. I could do one right now.
All right, sweetheart.
Is there a particular you want to read on?
Sure. Well, nothing in particular. Just to see what's coming through.
Let me tune into you here. All right. Okay, you guys say when.
When?
Okay, we have the Hermit.
Yeah, I've certainly been that for the last 3 weeks.
This, as you might, this card represents enlightenment to yourself and also to others who would choose to climb the proverbial mountain to share in the wisdom that you're giving out, basically. So this right here it would be, if you had a question, the question would be no. The answer would be no. However, this is a really good card. I used to actually use this as my handle online, was the Hermit, years ago. It means, you know, kind of being secluded to yourself for the most part. Anything else you want to know? Feel free to ask, or I could draw another card if you'd like, or if you have any questions, you know.
Not really at the moment as a question, but just to feel the vibe of the situation. And so, yeah, when you're ready to use your cards and just, you know, go with what channels through to you. You know, I'm more interested in how it works with you as well as myself being tuned in.
Okay. This has to do with what you have going on. We have the temperance here next. This has to do with being tempered with your enlightenment, or with your advice, or the things that you might want to share with other people. Which, this is a knowledge guy. He's a wisdom guy, of course. So he's kind of the person that you would go to find out what the hell's going on with even your soul, kind of thing. So,
like an oracle,
so it's a really deep. Yes, like an oracle in a sense. Yes, it's very deep. But he has wisdom of all different, like just physical reality. It doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual, but he does have a lot of spiritual information as well. But his view upon things, since he is the Hermit, he sees things from above. So he sees lots of different angles that maybe not a lot of other people see, and he's able to share that with other people. So there you go. And Temperance right after that, another major arcana card. That's saying that what you have to share is something that maybe not everyone can maybe hear or even face. It's something that you would have to maybe increment to them, or give to them in small doses, depending on who they are. Yeah, so it's like a tempering your wisdom.
Know your audience, as they say.
Yeah, maybe so. Absolutely. And then we also have maybe that's we have the ten of Wands, which this comes in as it's an ending to the burden, but it's a burden that is not physical nor necessarily spiritual. It's more almost like a exhaustion of having to touch on so many things, or press so many things to try and get your goals completed. And these are goals that have to do with your inspirational spirit. It's not necessarily anything that has to do with money or emotions, or really anything like that. It just has to do with being inspired.
Or like intent and aspiration.
Yeah.
Obviously, the challenge in life to get to those things.
Right. But this guy, even though he's like at the epitome, like he's at the max of his like inspiration, like almost like to where it's like, man, I don't know if I can carry on with this kind of shit. You know what I mean? It's almost like you know, pressing to where it's almost a burden. But this guy's the 10, so this is saying that this is the most you're going to experience with this. It's not going to get any worse than this type of thing. So, and also 10, there's no place to go but back to the beginning. So this is saying that your burdens are, or any way that you might feel exhausted in the way of fighting the fight, I suppose you could say, it's coming to an end. It's the at the height, the apex kind of thing, to where it's going to start over and it's going to be okay, kind of thing. And I'll pull one more for you because I think this is necessary. Okay, so this we've got the Four of Swords here, and this has to do with a period of convalescence or rest, in like a respite type of a period, to where it's a relaxation period to recuperate. And this is the Swords, and this has to do with your mind and like gathering your thoughts, and also what a lot of folks have, you know, put out with this Four of Swords is that this sword beneath here that he's resting upon has to do with secrets that are like things that are unknown. But if you ask me, this is kind of something, there's a particular idea that you might have with things that you are contemplating on more so, rather than it being a secret. Really, I think, to me, I think it's something that you know what it is, and maybe it's something like a particular focus that you might have in your way of kind of honing and getting a better idea of or a better grip on the idea that you want to move forward with. You know what I mean? As far as when you do move out to show the world what's going on, I'm getting that it might be a particular idea that should be focused on, rather than maybe some of the other myriad of ideas that you might have that are coming to you that you might feel like you must share with folks. So so to me, that would be a refining of your approach, I suppose you could say. Yeah, something to that effect. Yeah, but overall, what I'm thinking from the cards I pulled already, and what I'm getting is that you're a source of light or information for a lot of folks, and you want to be able to get it across in a way that's satisfactory for everyone. And maybe it's not quite as satisfactory as you would like it to be at this point, but there again, you know this, and you are honing your skills of being able to pick up on what others might need from you specifically. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, that's been really, really informational to me, Sonia. Thank you. And
Absolutely.
and it also lets me know, just sort of ahead of schedule, how to perceive things, what's possibly around the corner and stuff like that. So I do take it very seriously. I do believe it's a gift. I believe that, and sharing information like that, like you say, sometimes you could feel you're talking to a wall, or you feel you're talking to someone that totally inspires them, So I do see the full benefits of it, and I'm grateful. So thank you for that, Don. I appreciate it.
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Guys, how you two doing? We got Mark sitting down there smoking his lungs away. It wasn't the coffin they carried him off in, but it was the coffin. You know that story?
Right, right. Here, I'll join you, Mark.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the coffin that killed him, it was the coffin they carried him off in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
indeed.
Hi, Mark. I love you. How are you doing?
Hi.
But look, normally I don't tell anyone because I don't deal with stuff like that on a normal basis. But I've been getting some paranormal experiences in my bedroom, in fact. And what happened was I actually filmed it the other night, but it wasn't filming something that you can see. It's only an audible thing, and it sounds like a load of stones or pebbles being rolled across my loft, on my ceiling in my bedroom. And then this tremendous roaring like a lion, not like a mice or a rat or a squirrel or a fox even, but a bloody, like a lion, And it's tremendous sounds in my room. And I thought, well, I'll try and film it. And I filmed it, or audio filmed it, had the camera rolling, but it had the audio of it. And that's all that really matters. But fuck me, it shit the life out of me when I showed it to someone. And they went, bloody hell, John, you know what I mean? I can really hear that. So I knew I wasn't going crazy, and they are hearing it. But I've had this for the last couple of months since I moved in. I just moved into an old house. It's an 1850 house. But
Wow.
there's this strange sound in the loft, And as I say, it literally sounds like someone pouring a load of dirt with stones in it, that the stones sort of roll across the ceiling. And very strange. And then this sort of not screaming, but sort of a roaring noise. I don't know if I can play it or send it in. How do I do this?
Yeah, I was going to. Yeah, that would be great.
Let's see. chat. That'll be the one. So let's go to the 1 sec.
I'm back. What's going on, you guys? And
All right, Jeffrey.
Hi.
by the way, let me just let people in case they're wondering, and we do have to give a shout out to the Peanut Gallery. Let's not forget about that. Telegram is still not going, so multitasking here on the fly. You're listening to World Pirate Radio News, episode number 302. Of course, this is something that we put together as best we can manage each and every week at the same time. So if you like what you're hearing, be sure to make a note of that. Share the links with your family, friends, and coworkers. And of course, it is people-powered endeavor and enterprise. So don't be too stingy with potential PayPal donations, purchase of items we have available via the store, Patreon, or what have you. Over on Minds, they have digital tokens that people can send to their favorite content producers. Bob Dub is one of our main patrons on that front, so big shout out to Bob Dub. Thank you for the monthly digital love, always appreciated. And I myself, of course, as always, your host and trusted companion, the show's chief communications officer, Jaffe Ryder. All right. And joining us as well, helping to make, look, he plays guitar. Not only can he bring about issue martial law, he has enough talent to hold a guitar. Well, everyone, yucks it up with him.
Can he play well, though?
Oh, of course not. You kidding me? Give me a break. I really doubt it, please. You know what song he did? You went there and he's like, oh, he wowed the White House with the song. Do you know what tune he sang?
Gone.
No idea? Does anybody have any idea?
Gaff, check your inbox. I just sent you a video.
A long time ago, I can still remember when you make me feel. If I had a chance, I could make people dance. Bye bye, me, papa. Little button with Whitkin Rob. That'll be the day that I bring in martial law. That'll be the day I bring in martial law.
The post on. Did you hear that? The protest song that was went into South Korean charts or something.
A protest against him?
Yeah.
I remember
cool. That's what you need.
I remember it was a Bill Clinton skit.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
Find that one too.
Send the link. Yeah, we'll be happy to.
Yeah, I'll have
share
to find that one. Just a sec.
What, a Bill Clinton skit criticizing Yoon or making him look like a fool?
No. But using the same sort of tune. It was I denied Miss Lewinsky and I had a sexual relationship that's simply a lie. Them good old boys on the Republican side, I'm not gonna let Slick Willie slide. You don't remember that one?
No, I guess I'll come across it sometime at some point.
Boys on the Republican side, I'm
Echo.
not gonna let Slick Willie slide.
There's Telegram coming on board, so yeah, got that covered. But here's the thing. Like, if do you know in South Korea they don't have stand-up comics? They used to. Now it's all groups and teams of comedians. Like gag. They call them gag men, gag women. Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened to all the stand-up comedians doing their one-man show solo acts back in the day?
Go
You want to guess?
on. They all got cancelled, to use an expression.
A little more than that. Many got put in jail.
Okay. So what? No satire is allowed in. Political satire is allowed in South Korea.
Well, I tell you, and most recently, Lee Myung Park, one of the former president, just a couple terms back, and he was even more corrupt than this guy. Apparently, Lee Myung on the corruption scale, way more dirty than this guy. This guy is he's just a control freak. And if he doesn't get his way, he doesn't like the idea of having to sit and serve for 3 years as a lame duck president. That's his main problem. He can't get his agenda through. But yeah, they all got, well, many of them at least, locked up, and it was canceled, as you say, but in the worst possible way imaginable. Yeah, Myung Park, just about what 10, maybe 10 years ago, not even that, maybe 10, 15 at the most. Yeah, there was a group of well-known Korean podcasters, comedians doing satire and cracking jokes and whatnot. Well, they said something that pissed him off, I guess. Word got back to him. They were really popular too. And one of the guys ended up serving a jail sentence because the joke it offended him. So, I mean, we all know what can happen when you go to Thailand and say something, uncomplimentary toward the royal family.
Yeah.
Similarly, in North Korea, I myself am not worried about going to North Korea. But why? It's because I would never be stupid enough to say anything that uncomplimentary to Kim Jong-un and his family.
You
right?
may not be worried about going to North Korea, but you may be worried about trying to attempt to come back from North Korea.
Maybe, yeah. But the thing is, go there, with my Korean level ability, skills, I think I'd be able to communicate and talk with a few. I'd have to be careful with the jokes, though. Yes, that's true, and definitely nothing that could be seen as having any negative qualities or seen as insulting the dear leader and his family up in the north, right? So, but similarly with martial law, it's the same kind of deal that ultimately, like something like this, maybe you'd be allowed to do a podcast or two, but it wouldn't be too much time after that. You'd have some police knocking on your door wanting to ask a few questions and go about trying to arrest you ultimately, I guess. So that's one reason why it's good that the powers that be are really focused on having YOON answer to a few things, starting with this whole business of attempting to implement this military coup, which South Korea has seen all too much of in the past, unfortunately. So, all right, and do you want to talk about the plane crash now, maybe, Johnny, or have you done that already? Oh, before we do that, even let's give a shout out here to Joshua Allen Huckle and Zane Ivy over on Facebook. Let's see, we'll scroll up a little bit here. Karma Love on board. Amos Dale 777, the two of them over on YouTube. So it's great to see them holding down that end of things. Sonia Galactic active over there as well too. It's really important because I can't be directly engaged on that on all these platforms at one time. It'll just overload the computer, unfortunately. Sonia, Joshua, Zane, sure, Karma, and so on and so forth. But they got some good comments here. Let's just start from the top and see what we've got. California fires, national emergency. California fires. Okay. Oh, I see. There's California fires. Well, how were they started? How were they started this time? Is my question. The number of instances where it might not come to light, but the fact of the matter is that the people who have lit lit the match and started it all, do you know who they actually are? We found them to be as of late, either these radical types, the likes of Antifa or what have you, or people with a lot of money invested in capital and the need to put people to work in the forest fire fighting capacity. Right, so they've got caterpillars and all sorts of airplanes. God only knows, the warehouse is probably full of equipment, just waiting to to roll out and solve the problem that they've started themselves in the first place. Total, very just standard dialectical, nonsense, of course. So problem, reaction, solution. And speaking of just finishing up here over the comment end of things, the rights to Popeye and Tintin ended, going everyone for free access to use them.
I thought Tintin was a public domain.
They are now, supposedly. So there we go.
I think Tintin has been for a couple of years, actually. 5-6 years or something.
Sonia Galactic stating here via YouTube she loves pirate ship rides. Mark.
Huh?
Did you hear that?
No, I missed that one.
Mark, don't you get it? Read between the lines, man. Come on. It's not that difficult, is it?
Don't you repeat that?
Sonia, why don't you tell him?
Yeah.
He wants to hear your voice.
Well, I think Mark probably knows what's going on with the whole pirate ship ride thing, because he's here. He's on a pirate ship ride right now. Okay. He loves them too, obviously.
Sonia loves pirate ship rides. Mark, pay attention. Listen up. Okay. All right. Moving along.
Sure. Sorry.
He's too young and naive to understand these things. So.
No. Sorry. Totally lost.
We'll have to rent him a girlfriend for the night. Maybe he'll figure it out eventually.
Oh, why?
So it would be interesting to see what South Korea would have been like without the Pak Chung-hee's autocratic administration, says Zane Ivy. Yeah, Pak Chung-hee was another bad dude. Chun Doo-han was the asshole autocrat dictator. Call him what you like. Just bad. # bad man. Responsible for the Gwangju massacre. Back in 1980. By the way, I'm just going to let listeners know and people that we have on board here as part of the roundtable, we are live streaming through BoobTube at the moment, so we got to be careful what topics we broach and speaking of canceling and whatnot. So also, I'll don't let me forget this 3 strikes and you're out kind of business. That's one of the problems. Why can't you just let people play the game? At least get on base once in a while. Maybe, make a hit. Maybe they got a double. And who knows, maybe they can actually score a few runs. But no, YouTube won't even allow that. And others. It's like 3 strikes and you're out. That's it.
You have to play.
Well, they've got to have a process. All companies need a process. Obviously, I criticize mines for lack of process all the time.
Hands off is our process. Let people play the game.
Yeah, and then you violate various countries' laws.
Yeah, Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I heard that Zuckerberg is taking down the fact checkers, right?
Yeah. Fucking about time, mate.
But I don't know how he's gonna do it. Like he's fully compromised, but like
Dana
everywhere.
White, man, did you hear about that being announced? I just came across that just a few minutes before going live. Isaac, you heard about Dana White? Bit of a bromance starting to kindle between him and Zuckerberg.
I heard about I heard about it. But yeah,
well, going back to your Zuckerberg statement, it's true, isn't it, that he wants to get back on track with X and allow the freedom of speech that he feels wasn't down to his doing, but now he's prepared to let anybody say what they say within a certain reason without fact checkers, and that is great news. You know what I mean? But
I would
again,
like to see the details. I saw a couple of notifications earlier, and I just haven't had a look at the details yet.
That's right. Devil's in the
well, what I did
details.
see,
Always the
what
devil's
I
in the
did see
details.
in one of the details was that there was a particular account that was shut down, someone famous, and it got reinstated.
Well, that was us. That was
and
us,
without
Johnny.
your passport and fucking photo ID and all that shit, they used to ask you to reinstate it and never would anyway.
Johnny, do you know what they did with us? We almost lost our account a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what happened? They requested an avatar, I think, or as a photo with us in a picture of moi, and then I think I included, it was my name at the bottom, and it was only because really that Angel Espino had put a nice little thing together for us, and I was able to use that that item and then send it to these people, and that was sufficient. Thank God they did it twice. They've done it twice in the past couple of weeks, so that we were just a hair's breadth away from losing our account. So no passport though, thank God. And you know what? Driver's license, passport, fuck that. No. That's when you can say like, that's it. That's no, too much. So that's no. But anyways, nice to see Jim Mars in your slideshow. Is what we're hearing here, courtesy of Joshua. Trump wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico. The Trump of what? Or the Gulf of the Tropico. The Tropico coast.
Yeah.
So Zane also like to know how South Korea and the peninsula in general fits into the PRC's policy of Taiwan reunification. Well, that's a good question. In fact, just today I was reading something about Lee Jae-myung, the populist party leader, the Democratic Party leader, who they've really they dominate Congress at present, and it's a good thing that's the case, obviously. But I think they're a little more China friendly, his party, than Yoon's, is what my sense is. So
question for you. North Korea is very heavily reliant on Chinese oil. What is South Korea's status as far as oil reserves, oil infrastructure is concerned?
Regarding that, I could not exactly say. However, nuclear facilities, nuclear plants or locations where they generate nuclear power and energy in abundance here. And after Fukushima, you would hope that these idiots, with what we saw via the airport incident in Muan just a couple weeks ago, where nearly 180 people needlessly were sacrificed. Just whether human error or what exactly, but there was no need for that, because they would have, if there had been enough runway available, probably would have all been able to walk right off the plane, safe and sound. But that was.
Do you know when is an ETA on when the report will be, or the investigation report be released?
What? I'm sorry, I meant. Is that a question?
When the
report on the crash, the accident.
Yeah.
I really couldn't tell you, but the investigators are all over that. The airport's still shut down. No
early days.
And it's a wake up call, obviously, for other people, not just in Korea but around the world, to take a look at their airport design and hopefully take heed and learn from this costly, what took place. That you call it accident, sacrifice, you name it, disaster, clearly. So, anyways, and feel free, of course, we can come back to any of these issues at some point down the line here, this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever it is that you call home. It's the sort of show where, because of the global post. Meta modern technology that we harness here with Skype, VoIP, OBS, Restream, and so forth. That it's amazing just the way one is able to connect with so many people from around the world. That's like the new online Marvel game. You can't post 1989 or Free Taiwan or Wuhan virus in the chat. Oh. That's what Josh was saying. The new Marvel game, you cannot post 1989, Free Taiwan, or Wuhan virus in the chat. Ooh.
There's been a few computer games like that
Look at
within the last couple of years.
Look at Red Dawn 2. What a joke that was.
And of course, Google has got an agreement with China and Taiwan. China and Tibet with what is allowed.
Suppression. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I've long been a big, kind of free Tibet booster. Palestine, same deal. These people are the underdogs, really, and they deserve to have their own autonomous way of life, reestablished. Don't get me started on anti-Semitism either. That whole canard, catchphrase, utterly meaningless, other than if you're using it in a weaponized sense, trying to bamboozle, your listeners, the people you're speaking to. It's anti, pro, and then Semite, and then okay, what's a Semite, and just don't get me started. Okay, so there are other sayings apparently too. I'm gonna try to stay in the frame here. Silly camera. Asia doesn't really have the historical development of the West. Okay. I think most of it, not all, Asian countries don't put up with insulting images, memes, or of their leaders. Yeah.
What is the definition of what insulting means?
Well,
a legal definition.
Yeah, exactly. That's always the question needs to be asked, right? So, Joshua replying to Zane saying that President Xi was compared to Winnie the Pooh. Now you can't watch Winnie the Pooh in China.
Yeah, true.
They banned so no Pooh in China, which is really strange because they have over 1 billion people living there. What do they do with all that shit? Got to be some Pooh in China.
They can't determine the English language where we have poo and honey at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. Honey Pooh. Honey Pooh.
Honey Pooh. Enough, I did see a report, I think it was a Guardian report or something back on, saying that the company that owns the Winnie the Pooh brand, a UK company, can't remember what it's called now, but they were losing quite a lot of money a couple of years ago just because of this one factor.
The ME and US are the major petroleum exporters to South Korea, is what we're hearing from Zane here. The Netherlands, France, and Russia.
Yeah.
The Netherlands, France,
and
sense. Russia provide South Korea's uranium. South Korea relies on imports for more than 90% of its primary energy supply. And so there was something I was going to add to that, but go ahead, Mark, or anyone else. Who did we lose? Somebody dropped out. Christian, Johnny, who we lost somebody there, didn't we? No.
Yeah.
I thought there was one more person.
We lost within the vacuum. He's a bit silent.
No. Yeah. No, Steve. That's who we lost. Yeah. Steve's gone. He might be back. Let me go ahead. Yeah, Isaac, go ahead.
Oh. Well, no, I wasn't saying anything. But yeah, well, my approach to all these political and conflicts in the world, it's always humans, it's always children who are suffering, right? So it's very hard for me, like, to take certain names or whatever into generalizations as serious, right? Because at the end, it's the species, and if we're looking to evolve and to go to the next level of evolutionary possibilities, so Yeah. In that layer where, you know, politics and all of that, it's really complicated, you know. So many aspects that are in, you know, influencing that aspect. So yeah, it got complicated for me. I just, you know, try to look at it from a bit of, try to look the bigger picture of it.
No, that's great. That's an excellent way of approaching it all. I'm thinking like economics, militarily, historically, so on and so forth. There's a lot that really finds its way, making itself into the equation where we currently find ourselves. So, but also the point I was going to add to that, Isaac, because the point you made is so important, is the war on consciousness and the fact of what does government mean? The term itself, the very term itself, what does it mean? There's a few of us here, I think, that know. Break it down etymologically.
Well, I think that systems exist, because we made it, you know, and it's supposed to, you know, work. But what happens every time is it's a human problem in every system that we invented, right? So yeah, it got corrupted, interest, selfishness, you know, human problems, internal human problems that got into every aspect of society. And so yeah, well, that's my view on that. Because, you know, why it shouldn't work, you know, if we have a whatever type of government, democracy, it should work. But sometimes it doesn't.
Too much corruption, power and corruption. So
exactly. But those problems are coming from our human inability to, you know, to be ourselves many times.
Well, people also talk about not only I didn't finish the point earlier, the war on consciousness, government. It means mind control. Mind control. You know, gubermente, Latin, right?
Bringing it back to a biblical sense, we have a passage in the Bible, Jaffe, and it says that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness and principalities in high places. And this is who fucking causes all this darkness on the earth and wars and death and destruction, rather than, say, Prince Charles's son, you know, William, who's got enough money to clear all poverty and death and fucking disease and everything just with 1 year's money, let alone his entire money. You know, so why the fuck don't these people get off their hind horses and help the world? You know, because if they're not doing it, fuck them off. You know, let's get real.
20 doubloons. What is that, Sonia? 20 doubloons to the community potty mouth swear jar. Johnny should know by now. Johnny.
Come on, let's be real. These people are sickening because they play off like they're so goody-goody, but they could resolve the whole fucking world, excuse my French, the whole world's problems in just a couple of like dollars changing from one account to an account that will feed the world.
Right. And here's actually
and I'm
Sonia.
not talking about borrowing and begging and
sure.
You know.
Yeah. But Sonia, so here's the deal, Johnny. Just to let you know, so Sonia, we worked this out just, and this is your first time around with this, so we'll give you a bit of a pass, maybe. But the person who ends up at the end of the show with the most F-bombs, dropping the most F-bombs, has to blow the entire crew before you leave. Okay.
Indeed, I do apologize. And
so if you're prepared to do that, get down on your knees. You know, and then blow the entire crew one around the next. You know, maybe a little bukkake kind of action, the group thing, right? Christian knows bukkake. I just learned that. I learned it just the other day. It's like, what is this stuff? This bukkake. So, what's that?
I missed out something. I heard my name and.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you, Sonia, and then to Christian, and then we got to do a commercial break.
That's okay. I mean, what can I say to that besides, you're just retarded.
What could you say? You could say like what you're thinking. I'm all in. Bukkake with the pirate crew. Hey, where do I sign up?
Wow.
You could.
You're hilarious. You're so funny. You're hilarious.
Work with me,
That's all I gotta
Sonia.
say.
Work with me.
Yeah.
Okay, Christian, and then I think we'll do commercial break. And then so everyone just kind of collect your thoughts. If there's something we missed out, what? And actually, before we go to commercial break, everyone threw out their main social media link, okay? Christian, go ahead. Mr. Camp Hero graduate, Montauk guy. Yeah, good to have you back on board, my friend. Bienvenue.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still at it. I'm still working on publishing the book, but it's so censored everywhere, especially in Canada. Like in the States, it's not bad, but like Canada, they won't let any interview. I think there's 2 interviews legal in Canada. The rest are censored.
So wait a minute. Are you saying that the work that we did, you and us, or with Laura Lee Potvin, those shows cannot be found anywhere in Canada?
Laura Lee Potvin show, I can find it, and 2 others. All the rest, it's not available on YouTube or stuff like that. Like you type my name, it won't come out. It's a real joke.
Well,
shadow banned.
Okay. Oh, yeah, big time, hugely, the way they throttle down. And this is the point I often make. Net neutrality, folks. Net neutrality is a joke. It's a total joke. And not only that, but we're being kind of gaslit with the whole issue, where they present a straw man, a version of net neutrality. But it's a bogus framing of what really, as with Secret Santa, what we do, Operation Secret Santa, what they've done up until now is this substandard, not exactly counterfeit, but just substandard version of how things could be more ideally. And I think this goes in line with what Isaac is getting at here, with how maybe we can work to better improve the world. And that's why people like us come together, working at the grassroots, engaging not only in conversation, but going out and being more of a part in our community with each and every breath we take, doing what we can to help bring about positive, comprehensive results. So, net neutrality, though, total nonsense with the upload, download speeds and rates, bits and bytes. That's just, that's secondary to what net neutrality really ought to be and is, in my mind. It's a hands-off. It's a hands-off, laissez-faire. You'll like that term, Christian, en français. Laissez-faire. Let act.
I think, Jaffe, what the World Economic Forum were up in awe at Davos, saying, look, we can't have this free media, the public fucking, excuse me, French.
Of course.
The public media.
Of course.
This sort of, and they want to shut it down.
That's right.
Nancy Pelosi wants
Money,
to shut it down.
military, media. Hello. Every country or region you run it, and mafia too. It's not 3M, it's 4M. Let's not forget that. So money, military, media, and mafia. And all too often you find the 4 of those incestuously engaging in all sorts of nefarious, underhanded relations, inbreeding. And this is where we have the shadow, the dark underbelly of society and ultimately the world residing. So, be a light unto yourself. What does the Bible say, Johnny? Like the New Testament, that is. Be a light unto yourself. Or let your light shine in the face of it all. And we all need to do shadow work.
Spiritual, biblical sense, Jaffe, it's more about faith. faith is
No,
an
no,
independent,
no,
universal
no.
thing
It's not
of
all about
having
faith.
a hope and
No,
a
no, I
faith and a
don't
belief
buy
that we'll
that.
make it
I
through.
don't, you know,
And that's
that's
kept
nonsense.
humanity going for fucking eons.
Faith
You
is
know,
no.
but
Faith
where
is fine,
you
but no,
essence
it's
it
not all
from
of
is a
it.
different story.
Maybe
But
for
as a
you,
Christian, I
it's all
believe
about
that
faith.
the
I don't know.
power of the spirit is more powerful than the flesh. You know, and
Right, the
we're
letter
everlasting
versus the
in
law,
that
correct?
understanding.
Or the letter? What is it?
Excuse
How?
me.
What did those ask? The letter, the law, the spirit, the law, the spirit and the law. I guess, right? The spirit versus the law. That's right. Oh, well, here, and to give you a quick example from the Buddhist standpoint, here's a good one for you, Johnny. See if you can wrap because you're a pretty smart guy. It's not that complicated. Do not confuse the finger pointing for the moon. Or in this instance, I suppose the sun. Have you heard that before, that one?
Yeah, I see it. So what's the sentence?
Do not confuse the finger pointing for the moon. Is the finger pointing the same as the moon?
I don't know the concept really. I'm sort of westernized.
Is this too much for you
in principle, I would assume it's a bit like, don't take the wood for the trees. It's sort of telling you to look beyond something rather than.
Well, what is the finger? What is the purpose of the finger right now? What is the finger doing?
Giving direction.
Yeah. Is the finger and the moon the same thing?
I think the moon, on a personal level, is a mirage. It's not really a solid object.
Are the finger and the moon the same thing, Johnny?
Extraterrestrial Earth.
Johnny. Just answer the question. It's yes or no. Is the finger?
Sorry, I can't do yes and no's, mate. I ain't fucking robot.
Well, it's simple.
It is connected at the subatomic level, maybe, and quantum entanglement.
But are they the same thing?
Yeah, but in our reality, is not the same.
Right. So it's
all I know is if you go out into the moon on a full moon, you can put your bucket of laundry down. You don't need any detergent, and when you take it out in the morning, it'll be all clean. And if you get in the shade of the moon, it's colder than not being in the shade of the moon.
So is that your answer? Is that your answer to the question?
I forgot the question. Go back to it. Sorry.
But did you remember to roll a big fatty?
Yeah, I'm just finishing that up now. Maybe that's where it makes. Don't confuse the fatty with the moon.
Well, I don't care. I don't care. Actually, all I care about right now is a contact stone, because we're suffering major bankruptcy here in South Korea, and that's an issue too, especially when it comes to the medical end of things and helping people who are suffering. That is one of the number one aims from the Buddhist perspective and position. If people are suffering, you help them. Usually, not always. Sometimes people need to learn a hard karmic lesson, right? They need to. It's like the karmic 2x4 to the head. They need to suffer and learn from that to wake up. So, but suffering. So medical marijuana, the Buddha, check mark. Yes. Yeah, help them out. So, but South Korea, because of the corruption, it's a big problem. Careful not to talk over the host. Go ahead, Johnny. Try it again. We got to, and then you're too high, man. You're too high right now. But I do want that contact stone, whatever the case. So.
Well, yeah, no, I think that now I'm totally stoned and I'm just going to waffle on for 10 minutes just to keep the show going. But rather than suffer that, I'm sure there's much more interesting topics that should be debated here right now.
Or just hashed over, if you'll excuse the pun. Go ahead, Isaac.
Well, no, I was about to say that, it's the approach that we take to the whole situation. I mean, in my case, I'm a musician. I'm trying to bring what I do as a service to the communities that I'm collaborating with.
You're a magician? Wow, you're a magician. Do you perform for kids or hypnosis?
But you're do you inspire your music by the universe? How are you inspired by music? How does it come through?
Let him finish.
But that's a part of my work. But in another hand, I'm building this new model of regenerative economy with the guys from the Imaginarium, right? Like Mindscaping and this other guys, coders,
Bob
to try to bring something. Yeah, Bob Dobb, and we're trying to bring something new on the table that might be wrong. I don't know, but that's why we are doing it as community. But
Yeah,
that's the
I've
key
been
for me.
following you.
You know,
That's
like
great.
try to use our ingenuity and what we have to try to bring something tangible on the table that could really help communities and people for
Okay.
real.
Okay, let's talk about more about that after the break. Then I'd love to hear more. Okay, so let's
Sure.
just hold on to that till after the break. And you can be you're within the vacuum at minds.com. It's as simple as that, really, is it not?
Yeah, it is.
Good stuff. Yeah, we've seen a lot of you around over the last year in particular. So, in fact, maybe you could help us produce our next upcoming, because we don't often do this. Two things, by the way, just production wise here for the audio quality. When people are not on the mic, mute yourselves out. Secondly, if you have something you really want to say and offer, usually just there's that little raise your hand deal down that Skype rather has to offer. So let's see, you just click on that and you can raise your hand. I think most people know how that works. There we go. Yeah, it's responding as we were hoping it would here. So Johnny Webb over on Minds as well too, with Johnny with one H. No, how's it? One N, I believe. And Sonia Galactic on Minds, and that's Galactic spelled GALECTEC, correct? ECTEC.
Yeah, it's EC instead of IC.
Right. By the way, I totally fell in love with your little your grandchild there. Oh my God, what a little sweetie. Oh, I just want to grab it. Oh, you're so cute.
Just cheeks, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I love
yeah. So, what's his name?
they gave him a Asian, AZIAN.
I was thinking something like that. Yeah, something close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dizan or something is what I was just thinking.
And like, there's so many Billies in the world.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Man,
You knew it could not be Billy. Yeah, good for them.
I was going to name my daughter Valkyrie, and I kind of regret not naming her Valkyrie.
Well,
Jessica.
Just call her
instead.
Valkyrie from here on in. Call her Valkyrie. Do what
I didn't do it because I didn't want people to call her Val. It's not one of my favorite kind of names, and I figured that might happen. So
or Valentine. Okay, Valentina. Christian has his Substack. Medworthy on Minds, of course, for Mark, and myself. We got the Pirate Radio Network, I guess. Jaffe's Man Cave, and that's about the extent of things, I guess. So, but we're gonna cut away to a brief commercial break here. Be back in just a few moments. Make sure everyone mutes out throughout the course of things here, obviously, and remind listeners, even though maybe we should get to if we can manage this, get to on the other computer. Comment end of things. There's been a few more items people have been posting here. Martin Taylor via the UK dropping by here once again. There was something I was going to ask you. I know, COPD. There we go. And Mullen, Martin, because I think you said you were suffering from that. Mullen, so COPD. Potential solution. It's known as an expectorant. That's what they call it, an expectorant. So you basically mean you're expecting to cough something up, or get purged yourself. You can smoke it, from what I understand. And in fact, Sonia, if you could find any in around where you live, that'd be great. The desert area. It's a well-known native Indian herb, part of their medicine chest of goodness. And you would think it'd be more readily available here via Korea, but it's not. They go, all out and hog wild when it comes to all sorts of Oriental, Chinese medicine and the like. Even weed itself said to be one of the more secret herbs within their inventory. They don't like to talk about it, though, or seemingly admit to it. But the level of propagandization, the catapulting of the propaganda, the berating, repetition equals truth, as Orwell told us. And you repeat a lie often enough, that's what it becomes in the minds of some. So the reefer madness hysteria really does reign supreme here via the southern portion of the Korean Peninsula. That's the real irony, of course, that you visit the DPRK, North Korea, you can freely smoke all the pot you want. No problem there whatsoever. There's a great picture of former carnival worker David Charles, who I guess does not like to be referred to as a carny for whatever reason. He seems to think it's a bad name, but I mean, that the common man and woman, that's what they're. I don't think they mean any disrespect by using it. It's like just shorthand for carnival, So, but yeah, great to have you on board, connecting with us via the UK as well, Martin. And I think he's talking. Did I just see? Oh, Reverend Jim, Rev Radio, listened to the microcosm. Jimmy Jean, also dark journalist. Sure. And I think you're alluding to Reverend Jim there, if I'm not mistaken. Bruce Lee, Jute Kundo Morning, Jeffy. Well, Zane Ivy will you should he's over on Facebook. I'm not sure, Martin, if you can pick up our feed on Facebook or not, which does remind me. Got to get over there and do some work, we're in real life time promoting what we're doing here, obviously. But maybe I could come back and finish the rest of the comments after the commercial break. So, speaking of hemp solutions, CBD, herbs, and the like, Red Dragon, herbs and teas, being one of the main sponsors we have here to the show. We're always on the lookout for more sponsors. So if anyone has any ideas or anything in mind that we can integrate and bring on board as far as the feature guests, the Friday night feature shows are concerned, that would be a bonus, a real plus. And late night in Korea as well. I just simply have not been doing the work. Too busy, too preoccupied with too many other things. And it's something that it'll when it happens, it'll happen, and we'll take it from there, obviously. So, but it's great to have, as we do, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas supporting us, being a part of this live streaming, often all too intrepid digital enterprise.
So, Jeffy, can you hear me?
Yeah, but we're cutting away to commercial break. What do you need?
Okay, just a minute at a time. But a few years ago, I worked with a guy, Robert Vandenbroek, in Holland.
Oh, yes.
And I got his tentacles tested. But anyway, he just contacted me about 2 weeks ago, and he said, I've got a new video, John, that I want you to look at. And so I looked at it, and I thought, interesting, but at the same time, it's the day and age that we're in. It's possibly could be something else. Now, I do believe that what he's showing me is what he's seeing, and he's recorded it the same way that it's always been done. Now, what's happened is, if you guests can see this is Robert Vandenbroek in his apartment in Holland, and basically that morning, he woke up and heard that when you walk down the road, Robert, you will be able to see us. We're euphorical beings. We don't have bodies, but we can manifest into any vision that you want.
Let's come back to this after the break, okay? Because this is going to take a little too long.
I've got to go now. I've got to go. I've only got 1 more minute at a time.
Hang on.
1 more minute.
Hang on. I will bring up then, because we got to get you on camera here. We know that you've brought up your Skype with the screen share. Go ahead then.
Okay, So, sorry, I worked with Robert Vandenbroek about 2018, from 2015 to 2018. And I went over to visit him, and he is a very incredible fella that uses a lot of phenomenon that he calls the others, or spiritual or, in some cases aliens. So what he said is that he woke up in the morning and then he was walking down the road and these beings talked to him and said that whatever you imagine us to be, we can manifest as that to you. So he said, okay, then. So I want to see a dog with a blonde-haired lady. And so he walks down the road and up comes this dog, the golden Labrador that he imagined, and this blonde lady. And he's stroking the dog, looks at the lady, she smiles at him. He strokes the dog more. When he looks, the woman's gone. And when he looks, now the dog's gone. And he smells his hand because he's got OCD. And he said, I can really smell the dog, John, He said, so I got at that point understanding that these aliens that are euphorical, don't have a body, they can communicate with us and visualize to us on anything that we imagine in ourselves. So he said, okay, I want that to happen at my home. So he goes home. He sits down in meditation and he's told, okay, Robert, we'll be whatever you want us to be. You tell us what you want to be now. So he says, well, I want you to be a 12-foot tall reptilian. In fact, no, I want you to be what's his name? A priest. I was a choir boy and I wanted to be a priest when I was older. So I want you to come as a priest. And then, no, I want you to come as two priests. In fact, I want you to come as a Palladian. Watch this. As that to you. The boy, and I wanted to be a priest when I was older, so I want you to come as a priest. And then
Are you going to play the video?
In fact, I'm playing. As a
See it? I do.
You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Look at the size of that woman. So this is what appeared to him as these individual entities that can appear as multiple people as well. Now, I said to Robert, this material looks like CGI. It frightens me. It's that clear,
Uh-huh.
But he's like, no, John, it's not CGI. It's real. It is what it is. So I would love people in CGI to come and talk about it and have their impersonations, because there is a show called Alien something, and one of the aliens, looks like this guy on the right. But this guy on the right in its alien suit in the show just looks so pathetically not real. Where, I don't know, this looks pretty real. I don't know if it's real or not. I can only say that with what I've seen, the works of Robert, I believe it's possibly real. But sure. It's open-hearted and minded.
You never know. That's right. It could be, but it could be a staged theatrical production, or as you say, CGI. We'll talk more about that after the break. What I'd like you to do, would be interesting, next time you meet Robert, or next time somebody else meets Robert that you can vouch for, have him, he should be able to do this again, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So,
but this is material that appeared in front of him.
Okay, it's really intriguing. It's really, and she's really beautiful. I'm not sure where she came from. Her hair is really.
He was a Palladian.
Well, she would fit the image, I guess, and so that's.
But she makes him look like a little small boy sitting on a chair. I mean, she's quite tall, She's a big boned girl.
I wonder if she's into purebloods.
Well, like I say, the priests seem to freak him out the most.
Did he have a good experience as a priest, or as a? He went to church as a young boy, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't think he was abused as a boy, but
he got a little uncomfortable there. Oh, you said OCD. There, OCD. You can see his hands.
Yeah.
His hands. He's getting a little kind of uncomfortable there for sure. That's really odd. Almost looks like the Pope, a younger version of the Pope. And who was she talking to before she came there? Appeared onto the screen. Anyways, fascinating stuff, Johnny. Thank you. This is some serious value-added content. Hopefully enough to, further engage people and inspire them to support what we've been doing here now for the past 8+ years. This is year number 10, as a matter of fact.
Here's my house.
Yeah, that's the new place, your new flat, is it?
Yeah, well, it's a house. Yeah, 1-bedroom house.
Good stuff. You might want to maybe take a look at cleaning up your, what is it, desktop? Is that what it's called there? You got a lot of icons there. Do what you want, I guess. That's great though, man. I love, Britain, the UK. It'd be wonderful to spend some more time there. I visited back in the summer of '99, toured around, toured Europe, parts of France, Germany, Netherlands. In the UK, it was like Scotland, Ireland, and England, of course. So even Wales, Ross on Wye. Have you heard of Ross on Wye?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Van Morrison. Van Morrison played. There's a annual jazz festival that he was headlining, and he did 2 shows. And we actually, my girlfriend that I was with at the time, we kind of got the inside track on where he was going to be that evening, and went and hung out just kind of adjacent to the check-in area at the lobby, kind of, bar is what it was, a lounge, and made that connection. I was getting an autograph from his guitar player, Johnny Scott, at the check-in area. He was really affable, very very, really great guy, and just turned around at that, after wrapping things up, and there came Sir Ivan Morrison strolling in to the lobby. And you might get a kick out of this, Johnny. There was a glow. I don't see auras. I've never seen auras except this one instance in time. This is nighttime too. So I turned around and there was like this glow of light energy field around. It was like a kind of white light, very kind of bright field of light energy around his shoulders and head, auric field or what have you. And I was just kind of gobsmacked, I guess, as the Brits might say. My jaw dropped. I was like, wow. And I just walked and turned and went back to the lounge area. I was like, oh, he's here he is. And then the story goes on from there, where I'll spare you the details, but I did end up actually then meeting and talking to him for a couple minutes and getting an autograph. So he was great, though. I really loved Van Morrison so much. He was one of the few entertainers. Did not disappoint us during the whole scamdemic nonsense either. He was one of the few entertainers, songwriters, performers. He used his platform and the powers that he has as such to produce and creative content, get it out to the world, and say that he was a contrarian, saying, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. Come on, people, like, you're being led astray here. Stop, and wake up. So definitely encourage people to look into the work that he did collaboratively, even with Eric Clapton, as a matter of fact. After Eric almost died, after 2 kill shots that he was foolish enough to submit to. So hopefully this doesn't, just in mentioning these facts, does not we'll see where it leads as far as boob tube is concerned. Just anything these days is just so ridiculous. Of course, the likes of people like Jimmy Dore and others can get away with a lot more, it seems. So they're a lot more, no holds barred, and really letting them have it if you've listened to what they have to say. And I haven't heard anything about them getting into any hot water with the red shielded YouTube folks based out of very commie leaning Silicon Valley. So, but anyways, we're gonna queue up the commercial break. Remind people once again that it is our sponsors, at least, and this show in part brought to you courtesy of Red Dragon Herbs and Teas. With any order of $25 or more, you will immediately receive a 10% discount. All you simply have to do is let Ryan know one of 2 things, either simply Pirate Radio or Pirate Code, and that'll be enough to unlock the discount. Meanwhile, on the CannaSense Cannabis Collective front, 5813 is our referral link. Take that into consideration when dropping by CannaSense Cannabis Collective and seeking out all your finest, top quality medical and wellness needs. We'll be back in a flash, folks.
Medical cannabis is now legal by telemedicine. Get the medicine you need by getting reviewed for a medical cannabis card. Contactless appointments available at Cannasense.com. For as low as $39, you can get reviewed for a medical cannabis card. That's Cannasense.com for a licensed medical cannabis doctor review. Cannasense.com has all the information you need to get connected with a doctor for a $39 medical cannabis appointment. CANNASENSE.com. Cannasense is common sense.
Catering exclusively to the Des Moines, Iowa area and beyond, Red Dragon Herbs and Teas is a small, family-owned business dedicated to the creation of only the finest quality artisan herbal tea blends. Drawing upon many of the world's most richly established customs and traditions, Red Dragon Herbs' mission is about more than just getting their products out to the market. They also strive to help educate their customers on the wider benefits, history, and folklore of all their plants. Of course, any seasoned pirate knows when they're fixin' to tango with the Kraken, you best be powered up with at least one of the finest select quality premium items freely offered via Red Dragon Herbs and Teas wide inventory. Choosing from any of their caffeine-free headache relief or rest and relaxation blends, history has proven their products among the best sources of scurvy prevention and vitamin supplementation. Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief.
Red Dragon Herbs and Teas, bringing you guaranteed homegrown health relief. Welcome back, folks. We are here with the final stretch to what we have to offer as far as this week's World Pirate Radio News live stream is concerned. Show segment number 302. I am your host, as always, the Robin Hood's Chief Communications Officer, Jaffe Ryder, looking out his window at present at a beautiful snowfall that continues to, well, we were looking, it's a blanket, really, a few inches of what we've had here as far as downfall over the last day, basically. So good to see this. Really quite maybe cold outside. So much to what we have is heartwarming. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts the protests outside, where the current rogue, beleaguered president, who's now having undergone impeachment, where he'll find himself, his supporters, and those who as well are trying to ensure that the arrest warrant is delivered. But he's essentially barricaded himself in some special presidential compound where supporters, including the presidential security detail, are protecting him and blocking any successful attempt on the part of those working to deliver the warrant. I guess the next plan or strategy, approach, tact, is to maybe focus on the presidential detail itself. While they do have and are required, I believe, under law to continue protecting the president, that does not include you would think, at least, it would not include blocking any lawful attempt to deliver a court-issued warrant, a habeas corpus type summons almost. So, being no legally trained professional, under Korean statute, as it were. I could not clearly break down for you exactly how the process would work, but sure, why not target his security detail and tell them, look, you either step aside or help and see that this gets to him, or we will our next move will be having to arrest you. So because they're not there's no, I don't believe they are themselves immune from any legal accountability, and this is the highest level of the land. So it will be interesting though to see how it all plays out, and various strategies and ways of trying to bring about justice and accountability. So he's a really dangerous individual who, interestingly, the wife just told me today, his father, Yoon's father, was very intelligent and schooled in Japan. So connect the dots on that front, folks. Schooled in Japan. And small wonder why, if you look at the two parties, Minjutang, it's the more Democratic group that holds sway, they dominate Congress, versus the Gukmintang, People's Power Party, that one essentially dominates the West, while the other is more popular throughout the eastern region of the peninsula. So, hence, with Chun Du-hwan, if people know anything about the Korean history, there was a dictator that came into power, not Chun Du-hwan, what are we saying? Pak Chung-hee was largely responsible and credited historically for helping to rebuild Korea after the war, where it lay in largely a state of ruin. So, and with that eastern part of the peninsula in particular receiving the largest windfall and level of support. So, go figure. All right. Now, what were we? There's some comments we could get to, I suppose, here via the Peanut Gallery. We've only got maybe another half hour or so left, but there was something more that. Who was it that was wanting to cap something off regarding a few different items? It slipped my mind. I asked that you take note of it and be sure to finish up. Was that Isaac that he kind of kicked something off, and then we suggested that he finish up after the break? Does anyone recall?
Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was mentioning our approach to the situation, whatever it is in my case, I try to provide and to use ingenuity to try to provide something tangible on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So in my case, I'm trying to build this regenerative economy for artists and musicians, with the support of the communities from the Imaginarium, Bob Dub, and all the guys, the coders, trying to bring something new. And I think most of the time I'm more focused on that than like on the negative aspect, which is something real, undeniable as well. But the Creative Hub is a project that pretends to bring a new type of decentralized economy for artists and musicians. So yeah, we've been testing and different dApps and different making simulations of hybrid systems using maybe a token for the community and maybe DAI as a stable coin and that kind of stuff. Oh, millions of different things. So it's really interesting because when I started this project, is not only the digital aspect of it, but we have here in Costa Rica, we have a local IRL group, and we gather together. It's musicians and artists, and we gather together, and we are producing. Actually, recently we produced an album. Well, it's an EP for one of the artists, but where to put it? There's no such place to put it. Well, I've been doing it because, as I said before, I like to share with the communities as a service because it's my passion and so on. But we artists, where can we put out something that and be able to recognize that value, right?
Have you seen
Very,
Audius? Have you looked into Audius?
yes,
Audius?
yeah. But at the same, it ended up the same. It's a popularity contest
Oh yeah.
sometimes, or it's how it works. And we are trying to bring something really different on the table, like basically to explain, it's like when you make a release, the idea is to have these different hubs IRL around the world. It's basically people creating music and art, and when they put it on the platform, we aim to have these automated marketplace, and the people who join the platform will have certain amount of tokens reserved to buy every release. So the thing is that like trying to bring some steady stream income to artists.
I see. So you
So
get digital credits. You generate by joining the platform. You engage and become active to a degree, and then and in return you are able to generate digital credit.
well, in a way, is when you go to your local hub, which is a IRL group, you get some rewards. So part of those rewards are going to be reserved in the platform for the new releases, right? So we solve that part of, okay, I need to be super famous to be able to do this in a sustainable manner, right? Especially in Latin America, artists suffer a lot because we put a lot of effort to bring an album or whatever out, and then you have to go back to to day job to to
Yeah.
to bring another.
Yeah.
So we are trying to avoid that and open the opportunity, especially and the idea of the local IRL group, it's because every group will have a producer that will, and also community curation for that product. So the user, the audience can get the best quality possible, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
that makes sense.
Sure. Field of
For all part.
Dreams. Do you remember Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner? Did you ever see that one? The movie?
Maybe.
Oh, check it
Maybe
out.
long
You
time
might like
ago.
that. You might like it.
Is that the baseball game?
If you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
So look what have we what have what have we done? What have we done here? What have we done here? We've been working. This is our 10th year now, and people, word's getting out a little bit more, and people are showing up. Our numbers are improving, and we're trying. We're making some progress on a multitude of different fronts. So that's great, and it's the People's Pirate Network for a reason, right? And we've remained steadfast with half of this business, half of all the donations going directly back to charity. And if people don't believe us, you can, anytime you want, I'll happily provide a screenshot of our PayPal, where things stand, the latest. Actually, we've been it's depleted right now in a big way. I don't like to go under $1,000 All right. And which to some is a lot of money, and others is like, what the, that's just so, that's it. That's all you've got, really, $1,000. But you know, that's set aside. It's to basically help people and keep the network running so that we can pay for our operating costs. You know, basically, my time, which is like for each show, it's got to be close to 10 hours. With the pre-show, the live streaming, and then the post-production, it's got to be at least 10 hours. I'm not kidding you, folks. And
It's always a extremely long process.
yeah, it goes unrecognized and it goes unrewarded by and large.
Yeah.
You know, it's like we are not, so unless we have more sponsors, more patrons, people that step up, and you know, we got the likes of Home Network TV. Let's give Alan and Robert Morningstar a shout out. We missed the Morningstar report this week, unfortunately, but we had some other things to attend to as it was. So, where are we going with this, anyways? If you build it, they will come, filled of dreams. So keep doing what you're doing, man. That's what I say, and we will. You know, we won't be far away.
It's a change. It's a change of paradigm on the music industry.
Yeah.
You know, they are asking. You know, normally they ask for your numbers. How
Yeah.
followers you have and all that bullshit.
That's so cultish too. Followers. It's a cult.
Yeah.
This follower nonsense.
And we are asking for passion and real devoting.
How about
artists.
Supporters? How about friends and supporters? You know, what's wrong with that?
Exactly, and community, and to be able to, you know, the audience also will be part of communities, so they can be participants on the creation of their own art. So, you know, I'm dreaming about, you know, that to be able to have that artist that wouldn't be able ever to produce anything, and it's really good, but because of certain limitations, people will not ever listen to it, right? So yeah, that kind of thing is what we're trying to bring on the table, and also, you know, like include all parts of the industry, but in an intelligent and transparent manner. So yeah, that's the idea of the project, and we are working every day really hard on it.
What's it called?
The Creative Hub. I will share. I will share a link right now.
Oh, sure.
That's
put it on. Do a screen share. Do a screen share. That's the way to do it.
Sure.
That's one thing we're not doing here, because Johnny, after he took it away from us, that we forgot to bring it back online. So
can you see it?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
We are on this platform. There are you know, several organizations that are supporting different artists and projects.
The Creative
with funding. Yeah, the you know, I set it up as Creative Hub, a geometric machine of energy distribution.
You know what? We'll check it out, and if we could do. You do PayPal?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll we could we'll take a look at it, find out a little bit more, and then maybe pledge a little support. And as is typically the case, then encourage our listeners to either meet or beat that particular amount. You know, that's how we operate throughout the course of the Operation Secret Santa annual Christmas charity outreach, relief, and awareness campaign. So
thank you, man. Yeah, it's important. It will. I hope this could bring a real change on that part. You know, I came from the regular industry music. Right, you know, I've made this album with Robert Dean that maybe Johnny know who he is, the guitarist from the band Japan, right, from the UK. Okay. So yeah, I know how that and how the industry, the regular industry works as well. But you know, you learn, and I've learned from it, and I know that we can make it better. You know, they were good. You know, they were good. They were transparent with me. They showed me everything. You know, all the numbers, everything, and they're still in contact, and they're good people. But still, when you're acting in that a specific in the regular market, you got influenced by the interest. So it's complicated.
Well, there's a lot of artists too. They end up they finish up with their tours and they take a look at the finances, and they've found that they've ended up losing a lot of money,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it
Mm.
happens.
thousands of
Yep.
dollars. It's crazy, and
Yeah.
it's crazy. There's a lot of sharks out there too, man. Everyone wants their cut. Everyone wants their take, piece of
Exactly.
the pie.
And there's this idea that, okay, you're a musician, you have to be famous and millionaire. That's bullshit. We all want a decent life and to be able to do what we feel and what we want to do, right? And our passion. It's about that. It's not about to be millionaire or be super famous. It's about to bring an honest work, right?
Well, do the best work you can. And the day and age we live in, I mean, even me here, I've finally, like this year again, I've renewed my commitment, my promise to myself that I will continue to work on my music skills and writing and recording somewhat. All I have here is I have Audacity. And we have the mic on the computer. But you know what? It's actually good enough for a demo. Just not multi-tracking or nothing. I've done that in the past with keyboards and all that kind of good stuff. But this just straight up guitar, vocals, and that's about the extent of things. I do have a keyboard here in the room actually, which we could work something out at some point, but not well, it'd be tricky for multi-tracking. But that's really all that needs to be done at this stage. And then get those demos out there. I'm big into it. It's like, hey, did you hear this? Did you hear that? Like, check it. I got a new song written today that I really like, or a song I recorded 20 years ago. Have you heard it? It's like, yeah, you show me yours, I'll show you mine. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's collaborate. Let's collaborate. Definitely.
Yeah, but here, okay. The 51st state. In fact, you know what? You keep doing your screen share. Well, you're not doing your screen share anymore. I don't really. Well, actually, you know what? That's what we'll do. We'll play the 51st state here because we did this the other night on Late Night in Korea. Actually, you do have your screen share on. So once again, Creative Hub dot.
Creative Hub.
Is it? I can't. My eyes. So Creative Hub, we get that's great. And so what is your operating, what is your mission statement then for starters? We got to get you on, by the way, you got to get, if you want, you're welcome to join us in the Friday night feature capacity. Isaac.
It's one of the folks I was talking about, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
So get him in the queue, definitely. And
Ding,
then,
ding, ding.
sure. So in the next month or two, it just depends on people's schedules, really, and so forth. We would like to have maybe either Robert Stanley on this Friday, or we're thinking of True Crime Vancouver, Mark Devereaux, and maybe Naroki 5 joining him, discussing the whole Robert Pickton pig farmer, this psycho mass murderer, Robert Pickton, of the Vancouver's Lower Mainland. But interestingly, the tie-in to Queen Justine Castro, aka Trudeau. There's 6 degrees of bacon, friends, and that's not really meant as too. It's not intended to be too punny. It's just the way it is. It's like 1 degree of bacon between psycho mass murderer Pickton and Trudeau. 2 at the most. 2 degrees of bacon at the most. And but anytime you mention 6 degrees of bacon, you're bound to offend all the Muslims and religious Jews. They definitely run for the hills. Don't want anything to do with it. So it's kind of like, it's a cross between, it's our own little, what we came up with. You could say this would be great infinite Imaginarium product, but between 6 degrees of separation and 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, we did a synthesis. Just a simple 6 degrees of bacon. and we are the meat suits, spirits in the material, spirits in human form, humans in spirit form. That's us. And 6 degrees of bacon is all we've really got here, from the highest of the high to the lowliest of the low. Anywhere you look. It's interesting. That really kind of does help to drive the point home, how everything is connected. So, but let's have somebody else take over for a little bit while I multitask and try to track down this song. Anyone? Oh, look, Sonia. Whoa, look at that. Well done.
Yeah, imagine that.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. It's
Well,
like
talk a little bit then about your store, because we did finally add your link. Sonia is galacticfire.com/pirate. We have that in the show links. We're going to continue to run that in the show links each and every live stream we do, because it's a win-win, right? And you've done your work, we've been doing ours. We appreciate the support more than you hopefully you can appreciate, maybe even more than you can appreciate,
I appreciate the whole thing, actually.
What's that? Come again?
Yeah, I can appreciate the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keen on stuff like that.
What do you like collaborative work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure, that's what we're all about. I think that's what Isaac is all about. I know Satori D, Bob Dub, all these folks here, everyone that we have on board that's part of the crew. They are, as they say, proverbial team players, air quotes. Ooh, look at that. There's that standoff. So, but the thing is, but free association, total, it's like nobody is holding a musket. Nobody's having a musket held to their head.
Gotta go for the musket.
Well, yeah, it can't be a guy. It's got to be an old musket of some kind or some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Me and you, we had a past life where we had some muskets.
Well, let me tell you this. Like, are you familiar with Pirate Larry? This is something that Isaac might get a kick out of, actually. The pit might help me with my pronunciation. WTV. That's shorthand for within the vacuum for anyone who's wondering. WTV.
Yeah.
And that's interesting too. WTV. It's like, what? What TV? What TV? Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
And the concept of the void is really something. I'm not sure. Maybe Isaac's into that. Maybe psychedelic sort of cosmic explorer of psychic consciousness and inner spiritual space. But that aside, and that is, and like I said earlier, what does the term government mean? It means mind control. Why do you think they've clamped down so hard on psychedelics? They won't even allow for therapeutic use here in the East, at least, which is a shame. Making prohibition, they brought in with the magic mushrooms, the psilocybin. I'm not sure where Amanita muscaria stands, but for people like with PTSD or alcoholism and whatnot. So, there you go. But that's the thing is, the world that we live in, with all the BS, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the wisdom, the courage rather, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
There's coming.
That's you're like, oh, Jaffe, by the way, let's draw in there. It's like, do you know what happened? Do you know what it's real simple. There was no major conspiracy with on that front. Not, it's not this time at least, but trust me, we've got, look, it's no coincidence that both of our Discord accounts were torpedoed. Both of our, we can't access Gab from here. We're being firewalled, I guess, or blocked. DNS denial of service type deal with Gab, for anyone who's heard of Gab. YouTube, we've been this ongoing battle. I can't believe we're still on YouTube. Every time we get up to 2 strikes, we have 1 right now, by the way. For them, they just make shit up is all they do. That's all they do,
Sure.
And it's total Kafkaesque. It's a total fraud, so illegitimate, because they don't even, you can't even change your ways. You ask them, well, like, what did I do, or what's the problem here, and they won't even tell you. they'll just give you like a vague, patented, general response without really saying anything in particular. Now, how is it that any of us are able to rectify or improve on, change our ways if we have screwed up, if nobody tells us what to do or what we've done? Clearly, like, this is
That's part of the
absurd.
plan, Jaffe. That's part of the plan.
I guess it is, so it would seem. Yeah,
That-
that's
I mean,
right.
come on.
Yeah.
Just
So,
like
okay.
the other way.
Sonia, Galactic Fire, were we going to just finish up with that or say a little bit more as far as we're talking about collaborative work and
Fire.com t-shirts, bitchin' ass t-shirts. By the way, I'm just saying,
right?
And how it goes, for the most part. And we've got Isaac's shirts there. We've got Jaffe shirts there. We've got my shirts there, which apparently aren't as popular as you guys' shirts, apparently.
Why is that? How
Well,
many have we sold? A few units so far?
No, nothing has happened yet.
No,
That's why I
coffee mugs,
for
nothing yet.
your slideshow. We got to get it out there.
Yeah,
we gotta get it
I know. And in the show notes, this is the first time we've even added the link to the show notes. So
right. So it's like that. So I mean, I've only sold one shirt so far, and I have not advertised, so it's not because of anything like nobody liking them. How can people buy anything or get anything if they don't even know about it?
That's
so it's
right.
kind of like,
yeah, that's right.
So we got to kind of, just like share stuff like you were saying, and besides that, me and Isaac are going to get together here soon. And maybe you too, Jaffe, we'll get together here soon and we'll figure out a good marketing strategy to like get it out there, because I'm not going to go for all these people who lie about stuff and they're trying to like, oh, well, let me buy you followers or whatever. No, you don't buy followers. That's not how things
no. Yeah. We don't respond to like people. We get that kind of crap in the mailbox all the time, and it's like, yeah, looks good on paper, but you know what? I think we'll stick with Medworthy, as slow and
well, just
I don't know.
And once they get out there, I'm sure I have a feeling actually it's going to pick up pretty quick once things get rolling. So
could happen. You just never know. That's
definitely.
Right. Mark, were you going to add something to that?
But I'm still waiting for all that account.
Yeah,
change.
I know. Trust me. Like I said, I've had my hands full. It's top of the list. I should have done it yesterday. I really, but
I got a little plan. Because my story, once it's out, like there's 1 billion follower for Stranger Things that wants to know the truth behind the monsters and everything that happened. So 1 billion is like a lot of like potential, and the goal is to find a polygraph guy that does like lie detector, and that I would be interviewed live on a polygraph about anything in my book. This would go fucking viral, man.
Yeah. You've already haven't you done several polygraphs already?
No, I'm trying to find some, because I can't go and pay somebody and do it. Won't be like people won't trust this. But if somebody organized this and like, path anytime, ready anytime. It's like so like that would like be like 1 billion follower for a Stranger Thing. They would all watch like the interview on lie detector.
Okay, look, have you tried this angle, Christian? Have you, like, there's a lot of fan clubs. Don't they have fan clubs or different social media chat groups?
They're blocking me everywhere. There's probably like I would say at least 50 page of fans and all, like just for Stranger Things.
What about Telegram?
Telegram? I didn't mention the other 1 billion for like the conspiracy people.
Telegram.
Because like my story is considered as the holy grail of all conspiracy theories of all time. Like
who said that?
It's said by a Conspiracy Central, the show, And like, I'll send you the link on
More,
Facebook.
even more than like the JFK assassination or 9/11.
Well, it's like everybody heard about it, like my story, like through like books, through movies, through like tales, and like like legends, and so yeah.
Well, it's obviously something that's really
There's a lot of
incredible,
potential,
mind-blowing. Sure, of course, yeah, that's right.
and like that would get a show like popular in one shot, like worldwide.
Yeah, it'd be definitely, it would make waves. It'd be a real big deal. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to take over the screen share end of things. I'm not sure who's got it there now, if that's Johnny or
I was, but I just stopped it. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We managed
Go.
to. If this is this going to work out or not? Maybe. Let's give it a shot. Yes, in fact, it might. By God, close that down. Not sure why it's eating up so much. I should have downloaded this right onto the computer. That would have been an easier way to go about doing things. So it's called The 51st Day, A Patriot's Lament. I'm not sure why this is all messed up here with the text, or why it's taking so long to load. Net neutrality, huh? Out there on full display. This is they're correct, but this is secondary. This is secondary to actual hands off. Net neutral. Don't hands off people's content. Stop censoring. Stop deleting. Stop shadow ban. Absolutely. Okay, check this out, folks. So just kick back, mute yourselves out, let the music play. Hopefully it'll play, and the rest will be history. It doesn't want to play. Well, I should have just downloaded it directly, like I said. Maybe that's the quickest way. This is off of Vimeo, and I might have lost access to Vimeo. So, as far as being able to log in and all that sort of good stuff with, wait a minute, hang on. I don't even know if that's, yeah, I don't know why it's eating up so much. It's ridiculous. So anyways, what do we got here on this other? Okay, don't need that one. Go ahead though. Let's go ahead. Someone else take over. Well, we're winding things up here. Actually, we've been.
You gonna play your song, Jeff?
Well, I'm trying to, but we got to get it downloaded, and I gave up on just streaming it off of the browser because it'll be a little more clunky that way potentially. With like the stream wanting to crap the bed and God only knows what. But there's the Conspiracy Central link that Christian was talking about. In the side
this
there.
This is the Holy Grail of all conspiracy theories. Look at the title. Like,
okay,
I didn't make this up.
Yeah. We'll follow the link there then and check that out. It's and why so? Why did how's it they make the argument for that then exactly?
Well, just type Montauk Chair or like MK Ultra, or there's thousands of podcasts and shows and like interviews, documentaries about it. There's literally thousands.
Yes, but I mean, September 11th and the JFK assassination is two examples. Or the Fed Reserve, the Fed Reserve conspiracy is pretty.
I would say that's pretty like level or like Area 51, but like it's not the only place that says that though. Like so, yeah.
Isn't that associated with what's that actor that did all the movies and then went mad, bald-headed guy?
Yul Brynner?
No, newer than that, but he did it with Larry Hagman. Is it not Larry Hagman? Who's the guy that was with oh God. Well, anyway, it's number 4, and it's about like all of these people, mainly Germans, are driving to the bottom of the New York Stock Exchange and clearing out all these gold on these trucks, and then driving the trucks away and getting away with all this gold. But basically on 9/11, when they were chopping all the explosives going off, they were all designated to fit in the trucks, so they didn't have to sort of smash them down too much. But this is another conspiracy because while the World Trade Center did fall, they cleared out the New York Stock Exchange, at the same time. But this gentleman here, he's talking about like upstate New York, isn't it? It's the pinnacle edge, and where they did this sort of mind control for children and really people that were vagrants that wouldn't be missed and stuff like that. So the children that were used.
Well, do you know who Christian is? Do you know what he went through? Do you know his story?
Is he the guy that made the documentary movies?
Peter Garantano? Is that one?
Yeah, that was Garantano. Yeah. I had him on the show.
Christopher Garantano.
Yeah.
Well, let Christian tell you then and explain. Are you able to answer this question?
I did a podcast actually with Christopher Garantano. And because like the movie is talking, probably half of it, he's talking about my story there. And like
does he acknowledge you directly? Like he mentions you?
Well, he's just saying that like anybody that doesn't believe me, they're the fools. And you should listen to the show. It's like an hour and a half, I think, the interview. I have to do more with him, but
So are you saying that you were there as a child?
Sorry?
He was recruited as a child.
Are you saying that you were a child in the early 70s, 80s when this sort of project was going on?
Yeah,
and you sat in that chair? Did you sit in that chair?
Yes, you did.
I was the last kid sitting in that chair, like the Montauk chair.
Yeah, the Montauk chair. So let me ask you a question, sir. That chair, what does it do? Does it take you personally out of your physical body, leaving the body in the chair, and then you go off and do sort of dimensional war?
Yeah.
I mean, or what is it that's going on with you?
Well, I was like the mission I remember, I went to I was sitting on the chair and they installed the portal in front of me. The portal was a bit like the Stargate movie, like a watery look, but purple. And rectangular, like a mirror kind of thing. And just adjusted in front of me. And I was breathing into a mask, flowers that they just discovered in the Everglades in the 80s, freshly discovered, ghost flowers or something like that, floating flowers.
Right.
And the name Epiphat, I think. So I was breathing this and coaching. They were coaching me to go and open my gateway. So I had to go through astral projection, through this portal, and go and open my gateway. And after he was guiding me back, and I went there a few times at Montauk. So.
All right. Yeah. So check out the archived interview that we did with Christian. That's is a good place to start. And he's done a lot of talks with other people.
Dr. J.
Not yet. Is Dr. J back in action or not?
Yeah.
Well, we've been trying to get in touch. Tell him I'd like to have him back on the show as a feature guest.
Sure, but I'm sure that Christopher would be. Christian there would be ideal for the show.
Johnny.
And to
Johnny, get him. Do the legwork, Johnny. Make it happen. You're the co-producer.
Please. Yeah, my story needs to get out. It would be nice that we could figure out something if somebody knows somebody that does polygraphs or so that this would start the show and finance the show for a while. It's not millions, it's billions. So that's a big
editing your book is really critical too, because it could be I think more work and attention needs to be done on that front to really get it. It's like my journalism instructor told me back in the day. She used to work out east with the likes of the Globe and Mail and different various publications, mostly working in print from what I recall. But there's no such thing as a bad writer. Just only a bad editor.
Yeah.
But what's happened with you and Christopher? You know, because he was obviously on a visual. Excuse me.
Don't bogart that joint.
Went down the wrong hole. But yeah, with Christopher, he was making movies. There was visuals, interviews and stuff. What stopped with you and him?
What stopped?
Yeah, why you not co-working with him and getting your side put over?
We're still in contact. Like at Christmas, he texted me to wish me Merry Christmas. Like we're still talking, but like as soon as like somebody touches my story, they get trouble. Like it's everybody that touches it. Like it's
That explains a lot.
so like hey, like no shit, okay? I got screenshot. I was supposed to be on Sean Atwood's show last week.
Really?
Okay, because like Laurelie Potvin actually like hooked me up with Shane that was like setting up the meetings and all. But the day before, well, the day before like New Year's, I said I made a post that I wanted to be interrogated like on the polygraph if somebody could do it, like, you know. And so the next morning, who was on the fucking show of Sean Atwood? A guy named Rocco Fowler. And the guy is like, I don't think he's genuinely a victim. Like, and he was saying that Montauk never existed and all, like, you know, like, just like, he was paid by the CIA to fucking be there the next day. They just, in repercussion to the fucking, like, the post I did about the...
So he's there to discredit you.
Well, discredit anybody that's talking about, like, Montauk.
That's incredible. That what the hell does that say about Sean Atwood?
Exactly. Exactly.
So wait a minute. You know, send us the screenshots.
What's changed?
Send us the screenshots, okay? Of you, because you say once again, just so people out there listening, in case they did not hear things clearly enough the first time around, Christian is claiming that he was scheduled to appear on the Sean Atwood show the next day, discussing his experience at Montauk and in particular Camp Hero. Correct? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was waiting for the confirmation with Laurelie. Like, I'll send you the text. Like, when can you appear and all? And he made this guy appear the next day that I made that post. So like, and we didn't get any news from them either. So like, that's why. And Laurelie was talking with him.
Yeah. What was his name? So what was this? The guest that they had in place of you? What was his name?
Rocco Fowler. And it's on the 1st January on Sean Atwood.
Okay. All right. Did you ever meet him at Camp Hero?
No, like the guy actually came and asked me like as a friend request on Facebook. He asked me a bunch of questions on Montauk and on MK Ultra. And like he just removed me from his friends. And like he appeared on that show. Like that's what I know of Rocco Fowler.
And that was within, how recent was it that he basically friended you, asked you a few questions, and then
inside
ghosted?
the last 4 months.
That's really something. So he's some sort of operative, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what we think. I'm not the only one thinking that.
Well, yeah, I mean, geez, what sort of credentials did he claim to have? I guess we'll check out the show, but just
like at first he was a Montauk victim. Like in his first videos, after he was an MK victim, and now he was a Diddy victim.
A what? BB? So BB, no wonder he's bombing the hell out of Gaza. It doesn't,
yeah.
BB victim.
So, yeah.
Imagine prostate cancer, BB. I'm
So
sorry, bad joke. What? I'm sorry, DD, what kind of victim? DD, BB?
P. Diddy, you mean?
Yeah, P. Diddy.
Oh, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Well, maybe some truth to that, but it sounds like he may be also, if there is any truth to any of it, he's mixing in some nonsense as well. But you never saw him anywhere.
He wasn't even born like when Montauk closed, because the guy is like, I think 37 or something like that.
Right.
So like he wasn't even born when it closed. So
you were the last one ever to sit in that chair?
Yeah.
And what happened?
So
And there was a monster that came in from an interdimensional portal, is what how the story goes. Correct?
Yeah, like there's another portal,
Demon?
like a light that opened on the wall that kind of got bigger and bigger and bigger, and like there's 6 monsters that came out of the wall, one after the other. The light was closing back, and after it was reopening, like another one was coming out.
Wait, hold
And,
it.
like, they
You were
destroyed the
there as a
place.
witness to all of this?
Yeah, they destroyed the place. The base is closed since.
Well, but hang on.
That's
Were
why,
you in
like,
the chair? Were you in the chair at this time?
Yeah, that's honestly that's my because those glowing monsters were my stickers in my glowing stickers in my album. So like I was going to bed with them, like that was my light at night, like those
Oh,
monster
wow.
kit
As a
sticker
child,
album.
as a kid.
So yeah, and like I thought of that, and still hooked up to the chair, and they came out.
Well,
And
that's
like they killed staff. Like the base is closed since that day. They never put back the power on.
and that was what year?
1983, the 12th August.
Uh-huh. Right. Okay. Well, because I'm just having to, recap, revisit, refresh my memory regarding the details. Incredible stuff. And who's this? I forget because I was listening to the Art Bell show the other day. Of course,
Yeah.
you're now Al Bielek and Duncan Cameron. That was your handle, the name that they gave you is what you said, and then
Yeah, that was my name, my code name to
Right.
use there, because we could be interrogated. We could be like, I knew what I was
Duncan
getting
Cameron
into
to the
with
office, please. Duncan Cameron.
So yeah,
Montauk
like
office.
they met a guy through an audio repair job that the name was Duncan Cameron, and they told him the story. I got the first few videos, and you see he's not even saying the story.
Right.
Yeah, it's Preston that's
Yeah.
telling it. Preston was the only one there.
Well, and
when
what
this happened.
Preston's surname, what was his last name?
Preston Nichols.
Right. I
Like,
get him and Dennett. I was
Not
getting
Preston
confused. Yeah, Dennett. No, Preston Nichols. He was
Yeah.
he was who appeared on Art's show. Maybe Dennett did too.
and
But Nichols.
Albelec was there, like usually, but he wasn't there that day when this happened. Like it was only like
Well, who was it? Who was not there?
Albelec.
So he
wasn't there.
was. So wait a minute. You're saying that Al Bielek was actually part of the program, but in what capacity?
Well, other people like saw him, like in that identified him. Like I personally, like I remember very well Preston, because I met him a bunch of times. He was the one hooking me up on the chair, like everything, and like explaining me like what he was doing, and so
Uh-huh.
like and also like not long after.
Is that the same Al Beck that does the blood zapper?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure, but like not long after, I met Preston Nichols at the flea market. Okay, like I was with my dad, just starting back to go with my dad, and like just a few months after, like Montauk happened and closed, and he ran after us in the flea market, and like Duncan, and he started explaining what happened there to my dad, and like that the project was bad and blah blah blah. Invited my dad to a psychotronic event, but he was living like 5 hours away. He was at the flea market to get some electronic parts. So but yeah, like
Who? Your dad or Al?
No, Preston Nichols.
Preston Nichols was there, or why was your dad there?
My dad, me and my dad were at the flea market. Like I was just starting back to see my dad, and like who comes in the fucking flea market? Preston Nichols.
That
And,
might have
like,
been arranged. That might have been set up so that he might have been sent there too. Like 5 hours
but
away.
my
It sounds.
dad remembers, and like so like it's just it's all stuff like that. Like the little details, but
Sure.
like I have some.
Yeah, you got that in the book too, do you? You should have it.
No, I gotta add like a
You
bunch
better
of
add
stuff.
that to the book because that's an important little.
Yeah, I got like 25 memories to add up. But like
Yeah.
that book that I released, was just like the life-saving version, so nothing happened to me. Like
Your
like that I have something out and
your insurance policy.
kind of, yeah.
Well,
So,
it's already been spent, but
But
maybe
on a
other
straight up
insurance. Do you have
Christian,
other insurance policies? Hopefully, like do you know what I mean by insurance policies? The term, whatever.
yeah,
So hopefully you have other insurance policies, like real
yeah.
insurance.
I backed myself up. Yeah.
Yeah, in case something
Yeah.
happens. So, well, we got to go. No more. Look, we can take this behind the scenes. You guys can carry on as long as you want, but I've got to. I want to cue up the song as promised. Get you guys to mute yourselves out, and then we'll sail away into the wild blue yonder. It's coming on 4:30 in the afternoon here, of course, and the show has been. We've had things running here for the past.
Christian, Johnny,
3 hours.
reach out to me through the YouTube or Facebook or whatever means, and I'll try and hook you up with Dr. J.
Or-
And
or-
then we'll go from there.
Or vice
Also,
versa.
Robert Morningstar, I think, would be quite good for a session.
Already.
I
we've done it.
I
We
did
it.
like I did a couple of interview with Robert Morningstar and Jeffy actually too. So yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. Laura Lee Potvin sent Christian to us, and then we handed him off to Robert, and so on and so forth. So it's good. It's important that he has his story heard by a wider number of people, and that they're able to make of it all what they choose to. Clearly, but as far as we can tell, it's you seem to be. I mean, why would someone come up with such a tale in the first place? And secondly, why do you have those tattoos?
Yeah, and also I have a few friends that are well known also that were in the project, and I was in the school for the CIA for that project. So there's also people from the CIA that could testify that I was they taught me
They'd never do
remote
that, would
viewing.
they? They'd never do. You'd never have them do that sort of thing. No way.
Well, actually, I got one Joe McMonteagle. He's the one that trained me for remote viewing, and he's retired. And
maybe, maybe that's true. That's a good point. Maybe something like that. But look, we've all out of time here, folks. We'll pick up the conversation on the flip side. Hopefully, everyone got their fair chance and the opportunity to share what was on their minds. This song here, though, is kind of what's on our mind at present. That's why we're wanting to bring it to you.
Yeah, baby.
Have you heard this one yet, Sonia? So
did you get it on the show Monday? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's right. So
Who is it, the missus singing?
My wife?
Yeah, I mean, who? It's a song about who from who.
Oh, it's a song that I wrote and recorded and then put a video together for quite a few years ago. It's called The 51st State, A Patriot's Lament. So just thought that I'd bring it up and share it with people because
wicked,
all the current talk of Trump. I'm thinking with Trump heading back to Canada, it's probably he's not being as upfront and above board as he could be. I'm assuming that he's wanting to relaunch the old family brothel business. That's what this all boils down to. It's wanting to get some hot Canadian chicks that he's got his eye on and been angling for quite some time now. I mean, just look at his wife there, hey, the trophy wife, supermodel Melania. So
here's the text for
if you strip Menalia down. Sorry, I'm just going to quickly load into this. If you strip Menalia down, take the wig off, take all the clothes off, she looks like a full hybrid ET, mate.
Oh,
she looks like a proper alien.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's quite something.
As much as she's very adorable, I do agree with that. But look at her head, and then you look at her, not a reptilian, but like one of these greys.
I thought you were going to say
full eyes.
I thought you were going to say rectum, and I was going to say, hey, John, Johnny, that's like you're just taking a little too far there. So, in the practice of tolerance, one's enemy is the best teacher. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that. So, okay, folks, mute out, and we'll be sure to add everyone's social media information to the show notes as we get this archive. We're a few shows behind, so we got to get busy. We don't have much time. Pressed for time. But the 51st State, Patriots Lament. And I'd like to get the song out to a wider audience, obviously, and have a real professional musical act.
Yeah. So I just like to say goodbye to everyone before we listen to it. But nice to meet you all again. God bless.
Yeah. Happy sailing.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm all yours.
All righty, man. Yeah. Happy sailing. So.
Your card, that was awesome.
What was awesome?
When I read his cards, that was awesome. It was when you were taking a break, I think.
Oh, you did Johnny's cards?
Yeah, we did an awesome reading. It was an awesome
really?
reading. Yeah.
Did he ask you to do it?
Thank you.
Cool. All right. So, all right. Hey, look at that. Hey, Tom, you belong among the wildflowers. 51st State of Patriots Lament. Let's work on getting this song out there and make sure everyone's muted, of course. Best way of doing that probably is just to delete, or rather close down the conversation, not deleting anybody. And go from here, I guess. So, geez, I hope that's not a Korean dog. His fate may be sealed if that's the case. So, all right, folks. All the best. Canada's a 51st state. Well, it long has been in some ways, I suppose, but will it ever be made to become as such? Guess only time will tell.
Thinking about back on the days when I was young, walking with my daddy straight into the sun. The feelings I had riding so high there, way up on his shoulders. Life used to be more simple in the land of the free. Now the later it gets, the further I see that even this crazy old world's getting a little bit older. In the city and the things I've seen, not in a million years would you ever believe. Sidewalks are crying for mercy, lonely people in need. There's tall skyscrapers going up each day, blueprints made in the USA, and they're bringing them down in a flash. Foundations agree. I've been rambling through the countryside, sometimes straight, other days high, feeling like maybe I was born 20 years too late. Taking in all kinds of sights and sounds, every step of the way, covering sacred ground. All along the watchtower, bells are ringing hours late. Checking out my nation, for it's the 51st state. Well, checking out my nation, for it's the 51st state. Fisherman's dream, rainbow run through sparkling streams. The click of Nasa Creek finally managed to take its toll. Between the winds of change and the sands of time, on the leaves of rain, it ain't over but the crying. Till it's that old forgotten campfire store struggling in from out the cold. Riding this kickback, you're all easy like. Not even the memory to show. We were born to ramble through the countryside, shore to shore, river deep, mountain manifest destiny, the 5443. Taking in all kinds of sights and sounds, canaries in a coal mine covering sacred ground, singing the working folk blues, numbers 2 and 68. Hey, 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 checking out my nation, for it's the 51st state. It is checking out my nation, it's the 51st state. Check it out. Mighty southern chucks of midnight keep rolling on, divide and conquer while you stand on guard. Asphalt overdose, killer highway screws. But no, we voted them in to stand and deliver, not to freely sell the nation down a greedy global river. Golden straight jacket imprisonment and his Mexico blues. Arriba! Andere, andere, Pancho Villa, shades of Aztlán, running for the border, swim to the freedom shores, paperless illegals, political skills, ain't no criminal taxes, rose-colored glass rainbow show. Surely as a dollar will soon be a dime. Maybe stop a clock, not the sands of time. God knows we only got one chance. Sit back, watch it all go. Rambling through the countryside, not yet dead in our grave spirits, wondering why the scene never really changes that much. The angels round heaven's gate, taking in all kinds of sights and sounds, troubadour trekking across sacred native ground. Rocky Road investigation, mega project, $500 matrix blades, checking out my nation, for it's the 51st state. Well, checking out my nation, for it's the 51st state. Check it out. Been to the city and the things I've seen, not in a million years would you ever believe. Sidewalks are crying for mercy, lonely people in need. It's tall skyscrapers going up each day, the blueprints made in the USA, bringing them down in a flash. Foundations agree. Yes, indeed. Checking out my nation, feel the pulse and vibration.
And on that note, I do believe it's time to call it a day, or a night, or an early afternoon, late morning. It'll depend on where you find yourself situated via this planet we call Earth, our only material home. The only one that we know at present, at least. Maybe that it's not saying we haven't known others. Various parts of the galaxy and wider cosmos throughout the years, so, and aeons. But we hope to be back. No guarantees, but the focus right now and intent is on returning this Friday night, same time as always, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Places such as Vancouver, Seattle, Baja, Mexico, of course, are where you call home on the east end of the Americas, 11 p.m. New York, Montreal, Miami. Friday night, 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon here via southern part of the Korean Peninsula. Hopefully things do, speaking of the Korean Peninsula, manage to stabilize themselves and we find a sort of resolution that satisfies as many people as possible. On behalf of Captain Long John Sinclair, all the rest of the crew here down in Skullport Harbor, tally ho.